Hi, Jamie. Greetings and salutations, my artsy friends. How are you today? Let's turn on our light. There we go. That's better. I hope everybody has a nice, refreshing drink. I wanted to talk to you about the artsy classes I have coming up, and I just wanted to reiterate what we've talked about in the pop-in paint parties, having that peaceful practice. So I really wanted to really talk to you about the importance of a peaceful practice. And so, hi Maureen, how are you? So glad to see you. So one thing I wanted to share with you is part of my peaceful practice is during the pandemic, I started to grow some flowers, and because I love flowers, that's why I have a whole giant printable line called Hello Flower, because I just love flowers. And so look at this morning. So here's my little good morning bouquet. I have some Gerber daisies, and I'll tell you, if you want to grow something that will continue to bloom and bloom and bloom, and here's the crazy thing about these Gerber daisies, they will come up in different colors. At least mine do. That's pretty cool, right? And then I have some some zinnias. And can I tell you, I just love a zinnia. I love the ones that have multiple layers of petals. I love the ones that have kind of spaced out petals, and then they have these little tiny blooms inside. Look at how beautiful how could you not be inspired by that? You know what I'm saying? Anywho, I wanted to talk to you about some upcoming classes, and so we'll do that. And then I wanted to show you, then you'll see, we'll kind of transition into something kind of fun and cool. So if you don't already follow and like me, if you would do that, I would greatly appreciate it on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and Corbiere-Scott Designs. That's my artsy business page. And then all of my classes and art printables, all of those things are on my website, and Corbiere-Scott-Designs.com. So just so you know. And then please ask to join our private Facebook group, Let's Get Artsy with Anne Corbiere-Scott. You'll want to be there because I'm going to try and start to transition some of my artsy videos there. So if you want to see them, you need to join our group, and it'll be worth it. I promise. There's so many cool people there, and they're just kind and encouraging and just lovely. Anyway, so let's get started. I want to share with you about my upcoming classes, because I didn't do that in my pop-in paint party last week, and so I want to let you guys know what's kind of happening. So in Let's Get Artsy with Our Bibles, I think am I upside down? Okay, this is our entry for this month, for July. The theme is God is my rock, and so I'm super anxious for people to create with me on this one, because I have this really cool kind of layery color mixing technique that I want to share with you. And I always create one way in the demo entry and then another way during class. So you have two versions to kind of be inspired by. So Let's Get Artsy with Our Bibles is held, it is next Saturday at 9 o'clock Arizona time. And it is, you can sign up for it at Corbiere-Scott-Designs.com under featured classes. So there's one. And then the next one I want to talk about is whimsical lettering. So whimsical lettering is hey Lynette, how are you? Whimsical lettering is another class that I teach, and that one will also be taught next Saturday, but that one will be from noon to 2 Arizona time, and it's held in a private, all of my classes are held in private Facebook groups, and in my whimsical lettering class, we will play with this lettering, everything that we create and play with are hand-drawn alphabets that I've drawn, especially for you. And so we'll play with my whimsical lettering font, and then we'll also play with, are you ready? Look at this. It's a blocky botanical font, and it is so fun. So I have like so many ways that we're going to play with this and create with this. I can hardly wait. So for this class, you're also going to go to Corbiere-Scott-Designs.com under featured classes and look for whimsical lettering with Anne, July 2021. And for this class, you're going to need your regular artsy arsenal that I always ask for you to bring, but then you're also going to need some gel pens, brush markers, colored pencils. You'll see why. I promise. It'll be so fun. And most of my classes are $20 for 2 hours, and then you get me ongoing access to me in our private Facebook group. So I think I try to keep my class prices low so that lots of people can partake in them, and we just get to make artsy fun together. For Bible journaling, you'll need your a black waterproof fine line pens, watercolors, acetate, and white glue. Easy peasy. And I will if you look on my website, I have my artsy arsenal listed, and that's and it's pretty much the same for all of my classes. So Sheila and Lynette, if you would like and follow Anne Corbiere-Scott Designs on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, I would greatly appreciate it. I'm trying really hard to continue to grow my YouTube. It just takes a really long time for the videos to upload, but I am working on creating more content and uploading more content to my YouTube channel. And then ask to join our private Facebook group. You will be so happy. Okay, so the final class that I want to talk to you about, and the one that we're going to play with a little bit more today, is Inspire Your Heart with Art. It's a 3-month-long art journaling workshop. And here's the coolness. Hey, Sue. Hi, Becky. How are you? So every 3 months, I start a new session of art journaling workshops called Inspire Your Heart with Art. So we're getting ready to start session number 3. So for 3 months, we will create in our art journals. Each month we're going to be playing with a new technique. And here's the best part. Well, the art is the best part, but here's one of the best parts of taking this class. This class, you get 3 months of classes for $15. $15. So that's $5 a class. And I'm telling you, you will be so happy. And your peaceful process will just blossom and bloom. So, again, Inspire Your Heart with Art. And this is Inspire Your Heart with Art 3. And so, we will put a big number 3 on here. This is Inspire Your Heart with Art 3. And you can sign up for that also on my website, Corbiere-Scott-Designs.com, under featured classes. So, for this upcoming session, for July's Inspire Your Heart with Art class, we are going to be playing with paper painting collage. Has anyone heard of that? It is the coolest technique. And I'll tell you how I kind of, well, it's not how I really did. I kind of became aware of it I went to pick my parents up at the airport, and has anyone else played with or noticed the beautiful artwork displays that are at the airport? So this is what caught my eye. So I saw this painting on the wall at the airport, and I was just like, oh my gosh, because it looks like a photograph, right? But when you get up close to it, look, it is a bunch of little bits of paper. Let's see if that's, oh, it's so, I can see all the grimy fingerprints on it right now. Luckily, you're not seeing it. But do you see, like, all of those little bits of paper are collaged together to create that. And then, so I noticed this one right off the bat, and then I saw this one, and then I saw this one, right? And okay, here's the up close. Look at the hair. The hair is all of these little bits of paper with print on it. Right? Okay, so then I was completely curious. Okay, look at this. Look, these are like strips of magazine, right? Okay, so what I want to talk to you about is, so then, you know, when you've seen something like that and then it's totally piqued your curiosity, and then you're like, well, I want to find out more about that. Well, go on Pinterest and look up, search paper painting collage. There are so many artists that are doing it. There are so many artists. So one of the big ones is Elizabeth St. Hilaire. She's on Instagram and she's on Facebook. I saw another couple, and you know what? They're on my phone, which I'm filming with right now. But anyway, if you just go to Pinterest and just search for paper painting collage, you'll see so many cool examples. So, what you need to make paper painting collage is bits of art papers. So, do you remember that I have all kinds of them, right? Do you see this under paper? All perfect for paper painting, right? Because if we're creating something with blue, then we're just going to rip little bits of this blue. If we're creating something with pink, we're going to pull little bits of, there we go. Do you see the pink part? Right here. Right? So I have this one, and this is just newsprint that I put under my work surface as I'm creating whatever I'm creating. If I'm Bible journaling, or I'm lettering, or I'm stamping, whatever I'm creating, I always try to have a piece of under paper. And this is seriously, you know, when you get packages in the mail and it's wrapped in newsprint, that's all this is. So I just try, you know, my husband hates when I say I can make something out of that, but I can really make something out of that, right? So here's one. Here's another one. Look at here is, I was doing some jelly plate printing and I stamped off on this side. Here's another one where I did some more jelly plate printing and some painting with acrylic inks. Here's another one. If you'll probably recognize if you took my Let's Get Artsy Together Apart class on Frida Kahlo. That's one of my free classes. You'll recognize this. I just drew the cake because we were celebrating Frida's birthday, remember? And so I just drew the cake on here to show people an easy way to draw cakes. And then I just was having a paint session with my friends yesterday, and I just kept painting. I just kept cleaning my brushes off on it because I had all these big, bright, beautiful colors, right? And then here's one that I had just like been watercoloring, and I had just been cleaning the excess paint off my brush right here. And then it was just laying on my desk, and I thought, ooh, I could pull out my Distress stains, and I just did splat, 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 and then I just went, because it's like, it has like a dauber, right? Do you see how that's just, it makes like a big splat? Or then I could just draw lines. Very cool. And you can, here's the thing, you can just keep growing and growing and growing these art papers, right? So I have all kinds of examples of art papers for you to see. And so you're going to need to make your own art papers for next week's class. So Inspire Your Heart with Art is always held on a Sunday. And we live by the adage of a Sunday well spent, right? And so here's a piece of my deli paper that I was using, that I was painting on top of, or I used as a protector under a page. And then here's my excess paint that went over the edge. I have some deli paper that I did some stencil. I was doing some stenciling, and there's the excess. It's like, this is just the beginning. I can go over and over and over it. Here is when I did some jelly plate printing with watercolors. Does anybody remember that class? That was in one of our Inspire Your Heart with Art classes. Was we did a bunch of art papers with a jelly plate, stencils, watercolors, and some dish soap. So do you see all of these were made from that? This is a piece of sewing pattern that I had like stamped on 100 years ago, and then I just painted it with watercolors. Here's some more of those jelly plate prints with the watercolor and the dish soap. So if you want to see this process, you can take last session's Inspire Your Heart with Art 3-month class session, and you'll learn this technique and so much more. And then remember, I also did, so these are all from that class, right? And then I have, and you want to do, I find the collaging, you want to do it on something thin. So this is just copy paper. So do you see, like, I just little by little by little. So as we create, and you're just going to layer it and layer it and layer it. I'm telling you, it's the greatest. So then as we create in hey Deb, how are you? As we create our paper painting collage, we're going to be using bits of this paper. We're not going to be using scissors. We're going to be using our hands. And so like this. So if I wanted to do something pink, I could use this. I could use this, a piece of deli plate printing that I did on some deli paper. I have, so this paper I just painted a piece of printed paper. So you could do that. You could stamp on things. You can do it on canceled stamps, because look at that cool, all of that cool. I just tear off canceled stamps all the time. I just have a stack of them. So And then once, like, this has some red and it's Christmassy, but what if we painted it pink? What if we just use a piece of this and we painted it pink? We could do a million things. So I'll do some of that so you can see my process. What else do I have in here? Oh my gosh, I have so many. So many. So I also did a class at Kay's store in Moorhead, Minnesota, and I did a jelly plate printing with alcohol inks. And for that class, you can watch that for free. It's in the Corbiere-Scott Designs, in the Let's Get Artsy with Corbiere-Scott private Facebook group. It's there and it's free. So we have all kinds of, look at these. These are all on just copy paper, right? I also did, you'll see in that class that I did a bunch of jelly plate printing on hole reinforcers, and those are super cool and fun to play with, because that's just going to add another layer of fun to your, oh, look at that pink. That would totally go with my thing. I love this one with the greens and the blues. But do you see what I'm saying? You just need to create lots and lots and lots of art papers, because we're going to make art with our art. Does that make sense to everybody? Here's even more of those. Oh my gosh, so pretty, right? Look at this one. I took some of the, so this is just on copy paper, this jelly plate print, and then I took these whole reinforcers and stacked them on here. Stop it. So pretty. And then we're going to tear it and rip it and build our collage, right? So I'm going to get one of my underpapers, and I just want to show you how you can create some art papers with just junk that you have around your house. I want you to just use what you've got, right? So once you sign up for the class, you will get the pattern for what we're going to be collaging, and then you'll also get a couple of pieces of artwork that I have created just for this class, just for collaging. And once you start to create all of this collage fodder, you could do notes that you've gotten from somebody. You could create on top of this, and then this can be a piece that you tear up and collage with. You can, project's gone awry. This was going to be something and now it's not, and so I can just paint this. I painted some of my, I printed some of my art printables on collage paper, and I'm going, or excuse me, on copy paper. I'm going to paint that, so that's another piece of collage. And that what I do is I keep all of my collage bits in a great big Ziploc bag. So then I just have it and I just create on it all the time. So let's take this piece of mail of I had another one that was really cool. Like if you get mail from other lands, come on, how cool is that? Because we have lots of relatives in England, and so we get lots of mail from England, and their postmarks are different, and that's just fun, you know. This was part of an envelope, and I just thought that was cool with that swirl on there. Oh, look at that. Look at that from England. Stop. Okay, so I'm going to just create right on top of here, because I want this in my collage that we're going to create in next Sunday's class. So I'm just painting it with watercolor first and foremost, right? So that just kind of knocks down some of the colors that are already in there, but you can still see everything, right? So we can let this, so then we just clean our brush off, clean our excess paint off on our underpaper. Then we can clean our brush there. Can you see that? In our water container, and then dab off the excess water on our paper toweling. Then we're going to set this one aside. So we can leave this like it is, or we can create on top of it, right? So I'm just going to set this one aside to dry, and then I'm going to create, I'm feeling like I want to create some of this Aunt Marie art printable, and I'm feeling like I want to, and here's the thing, you can color it with whatever you want, right? So if you have, yep, look, I have picked raspberry. That's another form of pink, right? Because my project is going to be pinks. So be thinking about just a fun color that you want to play with. So I'm just going to be, I'm just coloring this all with this pink picked raspberry, right? Or you could do two colors if you wanted. You could do pink and orange, or pink and yellow, or whatever you want, right? So there's another layer of pink. And now I'm just gonna set that aside to dry too. What else do I have? Oh, I have this. If you were one of the lucky winners who took part in my my road trip card challenge, then you got a piece of this deli paper that I found at a restaurant in Wisconsin and begged them to let me take a bunch of it. And so they said, it's 10 cents a sheet. I was like, give me 20. Now I'm wishing I would have said 50. Okay, everybody make sure you have a nice, cool drink. And I am drinking, this morning I'm drinking Hint. Has anybody tried it? Oh, I'm kind of digging it. I didn't think I would like it. Anyway, so let's see, what else can I could paint this with some different, oh, let's try this. Let's see what happens with scribble sticks. So I'm going to take my pink scribble stick. There we go. And we can color on here. And then let's see if we can move that. Let's see if it moves at all. It kind of repels, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm kind of getting a cool... So you just need to figure out what, once you sign up for class, I will put more information in the private Facebook group of what you need and what we're going to, and you'll get those printables that you'll need to print before class. Oh, you know what would be cool? Shut it. If I put this stencil underneath it, and I get this cool rubbing, right? So do you see what I'm like? You just want to create all kinds of textures and shades of what I'm doing pink, but you could do red or blue or whatever you want. You'll want it to be well, you can pick whatever color you want. Once you sign up for class, you'll know you'll know to pick what color, what color you're gonna want for your object. This is, shut it, I'm loving this. So you're just going to continue to create more and more and more, but you want them to all be a little bit different. You can stamp with colored inks. You can, absolutely, Keely. You can, Keely already has a plethora of art papers, but just think about all the different, and I will just tell you, this is the peaceful process. Creating these art papers, just mindlessly applying color to a substrate, right? It doesn't have to be anything fantastic. It can just be living in the moment of applying color to your substrate, and try all different substrates. See what happens. See what happens with deli paper or tissue paper or anything thin, book paper, but don't just do one book paper. Do like a whole bunch of different book papers. Like I have, look at, I have, this is from Reader's Digest. I have this where I did some gelatos. I have this where I did some bleeding tissue paper. Here, look at this, an old part of a dictionary. This is gelatos and a stencil. Here, look at these. These were, I was painting something and I was just dipping my paper, my book pages in like the excess of whatever I was creating. So think about that. Like if you're painting something, don't ever waste that color. Don't ever waste that color. Have your Ziploc bag with your painted art papers, but then also like some things that might be fun to paint on. Do you know what I mean? Like I have, I have this envelope that has a window, and I have a big idea for how I want to use that window. And so I'm like, I will totally paint this envelope, right? Whatever, I could start painting it pink right now. And then, like, then I can cut this. Then I have like all these different elements for my collage fodder, right? I have down here, I have these cancels. I have this mailed from zip code. I have the address of the bank. I have, because this paper is going to be very different than this paper. It's all like, it all has different weights and different, and the cool thing is, so like I can paint this and then I can stamp on top of it, or I could draw on top of it, or I could stencil on top of it. I can do so many things. Oh, absolutely, Keely. The inside, look at, because look at that. Look at that, right? So let's take a scissor. And cut this envelope open, right? Look at that. So how cool would this be painted pink, right? And then, right? And then we can, and then, so then you're just going to have, but you see, like, just bits and bobs of what you have around your house. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to go out and buy anything. You can just use whatever you have at your house. If you have scribble sticks, great. If you don't, if you have gelatos, great. If you have Crayola watercolors, great. It doesn't matter. I promise. It doesn't matter. All that matters is that you are taking part in your own peaceful process and creating these art paints and papers. And I will just tell you, there's something really freeing about, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I covered every little square inch of this paper, like I didn't on this one, right? I still have some showing. So I could put another color in there. I could leave it white. I could do whatever I want. So there's something so freeing and just zen-like about creating art papers. Yes, I'm telling you, Nancy, you're going to start looking at your mail every day in a different way. You're going to start looking at packaging and office supplies. Like I said, one of my favorite things to paint on is hole reinforcers. I just love them. I just love them because they already have a little bit of texture, right? And they're stickers. Shut up. How cool is that? So I'm going to take some of this red and my pink. Get some more pink in there. Can you see that I'm kind of mixing my own right there? And then I'm just going to paint these. There's just a couple left on here. So I'm just going to paint the ones that are left. And then I'll use those in my collage in some kind of way. I don't know. Just mixing my red and my pink. So does everybody kind of get the idea where we're going? I hope. So I meant for this to be 15 minutes. What a lie. But anyway, do you kind of get where I'm going? That, so start to look around your house for different substrates that you can apply color to. Once you sign up for class, you're going to see what we're painting, so then you'll know what colors you want to choose. Do you know what I'm saying? And so like I got a package in the mail, and there are a bunch of these little hearts punched out of a magazine. So I'm like, well, what am I going to do with that? I don't know, but I could apply some distress stain. Look how pretty that is, right? And shut up, look at that cute little heart under there. I love that. So I can set that aside to dry, right? So you'll see why all of this stuff is so important and vital to our project. And I'm telling you, you're gonna start to see possible substrates. Oh, yay, Allison, I'm so glad. Yeah, and here's the thing. All security envelopes are not created equal. They all have different patterns. Some are blue, some are black, some are gray, right? So you can use these same techniques on all different substrates. Like I said, tissue paper. I mean, just have fun. So, like I said, you can sign up for this class, Inspire Your Heart with Art 3. It's a ongoing 3-month-long art journaling workshop. And so each month we're going to explore different techniques and different styles of painting. So for July, we're going to be doing paper painting collage. And so we're creating our own collage fodder here, right? You're going to sign up on Corbiere-Scott-Designs.com under featured classes, and it's Inspire Your Heart with Art 3. And then in August, we're going to explore an entirely different technique and style. We're going to be doing a still life, but a really funky still life. And then in September, we're going to create something even more different. So if you just love to just kind of let your freak flag fly and get super artsy and want to fill your art journal with all manner of loveliness, join me. I would love to have you. And be sure to be sure to follow Ann Corbiere-Scott Designs on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. I'm trying desperately hard to fill those with content every day. So, like I said, Ann Corbiere-Scott Designs, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. All of my art printables and artsy classes are available on Corbiere-Scott-Designs.com, and then ask to join our private Facebook group, Let's Get Artsy with Ann Corbiere-Scott. I'm going to start putting exclusive content in our Facebook group that to reward the people who are like supporting me all along. Anyway, I'm at 40 minutes and 48 seconds now. Good gravy. You know, it always happens. So I hope that you start to create your artsy fodder, your collage fodder. That's kind of a cool term that's been floating out there. There was a class called collage fodder, and then it just kind of hit the art journaling world by storm. So create and create and create, and then join me next Sunday. So sign up and let's get our art on next Sunday. Thanks so much. Bye.